Water. Water. Water is life.
I don't know how to segue from that.
Water is life.
It's a necessity, and when you're boondocking, having accessible water can be challenging. So, how do people do it?
We're gonna let you know right here in this video.
Hey everybody, I'm Natasha.
And I'm Bill.
And we're nursing our travel bug. And today is our third video in our Boondocking for Newbies series.
This one's all about water. How do I get it? How do I conserve it? How do I keep my systems clean?
When you are boondocking, yes, you get all of the beauty of nature around you. You get to live in your RV for free. But that also means that you don't have all of the amenities and hookups that you get at an RV park.
That means some people can't take a 45-minute shower. We're ready. We're ready to get out there. We're going to boondock. We're not going to go crazy and do it for months. Not that those people are crazy. But we are getting ready to do some boondocking for a few short night stays. So we are going to want to use our freshwater tank. Oh my gosh, maybe this is embarrassing, but it's just honest. Gonna be honest. We've been RVers for 4 years now, and we have not sanitized our RV freshwater tank one time.
There is some debate out there on the interwebs about how often you should sanitize your water system, or if you even need to as a full-time RVer. We have gotten advice from an actual certified RV tech who said you're constantly using your system, so you don't need to sanitize it. And let's face it, we're kind of procrastinators, so we just never made it a priority. Until now. We did some research online because we're not experts. We've never done this before. And we found a good solution to cleaning your water system. Most resources say to use a 1/4 cup of bleach for every 15 gallons of your freshwater tank. And we have a 75-gallon tank.
So, doing the math, that's, I don't know.
1 1/4.
1 1/4, says Will. So, we're going to show you a little bit about how our system works. I believe most RV systems are similar, but we're finally going to get this done.
So as you can see, we've got the bleach in the system. We're gonna open all of our lines until we smell it. That way the bleach has made its way all the way to each of the faucets, the kitchen, the bathroom faucet, and the shower. We're gonna leave it sit overnight, and then we're going to flush the system a couple of times until we don't smell the chlorine bleach smell any longer.
So now, I suppose, if you could, drink the water out of that freshwater tank.
Mm-hmm. Ultimately, the goal for us is to have clean water to wash our dishes, brush our teeth, and just to get ourselves clean. So if you're really nervous about drinking stagnant water that's been sitting in your freshwater tank for a few days, and there's nothing wrong with that, we have decided to get a stockpile of some bottled water as well.
Now that is a great solution. You can have a gallon jug of water, you can have your bottled water. have it on hand, have it in your vehicles on travel days. Put a couple in your freezer. Pro tip here. Then put it in your lunch bag for the next day. Keeps your food cold, and as it thaws, you got a drink.
And it's nice to have a little bit of bottled water or jug water just on hand, even if you're in a campground for a certain period of time, just in case something happens to the water and you don't have fresh accessible.
That's happened to us.
Mm-hmm.
And all the people online said, well, dummy, don't you put water in your fresh tank when you get to a campground? No. Well, you're supposed to. I guess we still don't. I guess we're still dummies. And before you leave on your trip, another tip here. Take your gallon jug of water, or an old milk jug, fill it with some water from your tap. You could use this water in an emergency, if you run out of water, to flush your toilet.
Because you can't leave that toilet bowl totally empty or your seal will dry out. And that's no bueno.
That leads us to a good point. Water conservation.
When you are boondocking, you are going to need to conserve the water that you do have. A lot of folks do this by extending the days in between when they bathe. And you can also utilize things like baby wipes to freshen up or dry shampoo to take care of that greasy scalp. But on those days when you do have to shower, make sure it's a Navy shower.
Yeah, get that water on, get wet, shut it off, soap up, turn it on, rinse off, shut it off.
You're done. No more.
You gotta save that water.
You can also utilize small streams when you're washing your hands or brushing your teeth. Pop it on, get your hands wet, pop it off, suds up, rinse, and you're done. All about conservation.
And really, if we're saving the planet, I suppose these are good exercises for everyday life, not just in an RV.
Absolutely. One other way we are going to try and conserve water is we are taking a tip from our friends over at Diary of a Family, and we are getting some plastic basins from our local department store. And you fill up one basin with soapy water to do your dishes. You don't need a lot, maybe an inch or two worth of water. Have another basin with another inch or two of water just to rinse all of the dishes. And then you can take those buckets and just toss them out the window so you're not filling up that gray water tank as well.
Or use them to flush your toilet.
Genius! So your water system's sanitized, you've got bottled drinking water, you're conserving the water you have on hand, but how do you get it in the first place?
Well, depending on where you're camping, you might be able to roll into the place you'll be boondocking, and they might have water there.
Mm-hmm. You can find water at local rest stops along the interstates.
Sometimes you'll even find them at a truck stop or a gas station.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you do have to pay attention. Is it potable water, which means
it's safe for consumption? I always think of potable pots. I can wash my pots and pans, therefore it's safe.
Or non-potable water, which means
you can use it for cleaning yourself off or flushing your toilet, but not to ingest into your body. Nearly every place you stop is going to have a sign telling you whether or not it's potable water. We are curious though, and we want all of you experienced boondockers out there to weigh in. If you have sanitized your water system and then you put in non-potable water, do you have to re-sanitize your system? I want to know. Drop a comment down below.
That's maybe where you just don't ever drink out of that tank. Then you don't gotta worry about that.
Hey man, to each his own. But now you all have tips on how to get water while you're boondocking.
If you found any of this helpful, informative, or maybe even mildly entertaining, give us a thumbs up.
If you are new to our channel, please hit that subscribe button and be sure to ring that notification bell so you can be notified anytime we release a Travel Nurse RV Maintenance DIY or Family Adventures video.
Well, I guess it's time to get out there and go boondocking.
I'm Natasha.
And I'm Bill.
With Nursing Our Travel Bug, encouraging you to nurse what makes you happy. We'll see you out in the wide blue yonder.
Off we go into the wild blue yonder. Bye.